they opened for IFP and the Cotillion.
I like that picture.
All right.
That's a cool picture.
I think we're here. Hopefully we sound better than last time.
We'll find out.
If anybody out there in the listening world hears that we are sounding crappy, please tell us, because I don't want to delete a whole episode again. But this is 128, so it's still 128.
We don't have our monitor guy anymore. He hasn't listened to us for a while.
What are you talking about?
Thomas.
Oh, yeah. Thomas has been busy.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot.
Mm-hmm. But we're going to get into it. How about that? No. What is up? Part 2, the redo.
Report 1.5, just in case.
1.5.
Just in case.
This is
a remix.
As you can see, I got the headphones on, checking. It sounds good here, so hopefully it sounds good out there as well. So let us know. I'm going to take them off because I hate wearing headphones. But yeah, this is Art Assault, the podcast, episode 128 again. We got the boys from Rotten Aura, the men from Rotten Aura. Sorry, I call you guys boys. That sounds demeaning. I did a sample speech, to promo it.
Yeah,
I said the boys. I'm like, God dang it! The first time I at least said guys. The first go around of all this. And
it's an age thing because he's in his. He's like 40
like,
and I'm 60.
So bearded and manly, like that would be.
I am bald.
Track meet for the middle school child. Some kids rocking around with full beards. I'm just like, what the hell are they feeding you?
Right.
Goodness
He's
gracious!
love that.
Grow this and that, like homies
playing football and guys from the other team have a 5 o'clock shadow, and you're like, what the hell? And they're just burying you guys.
All right, Janice says we sound much better. Thank you.
Yay.
I don't like that popping up. I don't like that one.
Thank you for having us back on.
Yeah, thank you.
You're featuring Jana there for a second, though.
Well, I don't like how it pops up there, Captain. Yeah, thanks for coming back because we wanted to promote this. Some things have changed since the original.
Things have changed, yes.
And we're gonna roll with it. We'll still plug the show, but the big news is y'all are looking for a new drummer.
Yes.
So what are you looking for in a drummer? Drummers are tough to get.
Someone who can keep up with us mainly. Anyone who's seen us live knows we have a pretty intense set, I would like to think. So we need someone who can keep up with us in that aspect, so to speak. But someone who is reliable.
Someone who might use Google Calendar, for instance.
Just someone who can be reliable. We know he's going to show up, or she. We just need a drummer. That we're not opposed to anyone. What every band wants in a drummer and another musician or member of a band. We just need you to show up, play what we need you to play, do it to the best of your abilities, and hopefully we all vibe. That's probably the best thing we'd be looking for.
Right, because if we don't get along,
more than anything.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Right,
big one.
They don't want to be there.
You got to be able to party a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, we don't overdo it. Don't overdo it.
No hard drugs. Yeah. I'd like to stress that more than anything.
Yeah, like
420 friendly. Tolerate the occasional alcoholic, because we too drink. But we're done with that. Yeah.
Consistency and being able to get along is huge. Two huge things. Even if you can't really get along, because they're still learning who they are, but at least be consistent. And that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Well, and when I first joined them, within like a few months, we was already on the road to Arkansas. So we're going to be doing stuff together. We're going to be spending a lot of time together right off the bat. So,
which is our next. We are currently mainly heavily focusing on writing and pre-production as best we can for an album we'd like to release that's been on hold for a while. And now that we've gone past a particular hurdle, the next one is finding a drummer who can help with, the goal is a permanent drummer, but We have a few leads on couple session drummers via locally and out of town we can work with, trying to figure that scenario out. But we'd like to find a permanent drummer first and foremost.
Yeah.
I hate to have to pay someone and then find someone who we have to completely change if they can't learn or handle what we find to pay for,
Yeah.
But we are not stopping. We will be back with music. We will be back with, in one way or another, back on stage.
Yeah. You guys got some stuff on Spotify, right? So that
Yeah, there's
people...
at least 4 songs on Spotify that anyone and everyone who's a drummer can go listen to, hammer out, hit us up. Feel free to set up on a
Hell, if you don't even have Spotify, it's on YouTube.
It's
as
at
well.
any streaming
all the
service.
streaming,
Yeah.
All that, you name it. There's ones. If you have DistroKid and you put your stuff out there, there's stuff out there. You're like, wait, what is this? I've never heard this. So if you can think of a streaming app, it's out there.
And we're not even necessarily against someone showing up who could play it, but also might want to make it better,
Better, the goal from here on,
or
is
just
to find a better drummer. I'm not saying
keep tempo.
our previous drummer was bad in any way, shape, or form, but definitely try to find.
Yeah, if they can up the ante a little bit, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But this goes out to anyone and everyone, but we're not trying to steal a drummer from another band.
Yeah.
Definitely don't want someone who's in too many bands.
But like I say, I think drummers they like multiple bands.
Mine right now, he is loaning
screwed
himself
ourselves
out a
with
little
this
bit.
one.
His primary band.
I'm just saying, if there's any drummers that are interested in helping us out, want to jam in any way, we're not trying to steal another band's drummer at all. We want, we don't want to stop our momentum that we've had, and we want to be able to get back to what we were doing.
I think that we understand that drummers, first of all, are hard to find, especially around here, and good drummers,
reliable drummers.
Yeah,
and that's what I think we want, is just like someone who's reliable, who can be somewhat committed to us. That's obviously not having too many projects.
There are a few from some of the smaller towns around town too. I'll put word out all over and see what happens for you guys.
And that's anyone who has our page. Please share our. We have an ad on our page, and I will be trying to go around town posting our ad in some of the
physical
local
copies.
shops. Just anything we can do to not lose our momentum, because how bands get. If you lose too much momentum, we're not going to do, and eventually don't want to stop.
Unless you're the Rolling Stones or Kiss or something.
Yeah.
We also want to stress that we really wanted to be on that sick show. It's the Grave Huffer Externus and now Doom for Death.
Yeah.
So if you're into some brutal metal, we're going to be at the show.
We will be there.
We're still going to support.
We want to promote that show to show Grave Huffer that we cared about the show.
Thank you to Grave Huffer in the first place for inviting us out. We sincerely, from the bottom of our black hearts, apologize for not being able to be there.
Yeah.
But also, huge shout out to Doom for Death for being able to pick up the slot. Grateful that they were able to help us out and help Grave Huffer out. I recommended them. So I was like, dude, I'm not leaving you guys hanging. Here's a couple locals. Yeah. But Doom for Death was glad they filled in. They're great.
I'm sure
they
represent Wichita the shoes.
Well. There's a few that represent Wichita really well. Doom for Death really does. So
I've never seen them that I'm aware of, which is rare. Which is rare for me because I see a lot of shows.
You didn't see them weren't they?
You didn't see us at the Wave?
Oh, which one?
They weren't at that one though.
Did they play at the Wave?
They played at the Wave with Cavalier.
Yeah, they did.
They played Cavalier. They played a couple. They played a handful of local shows. They are probably one of the tightest bands in Wichita.
Part of the problem too, when you're in a band, you miss a lot of bands because you're playing the same times they're playing too. So that happens a lot.
So you ever see Mason's post, dude? The guy hammers his band out practice wise, like 4 to 8 hours. Like, God, Mason, you're killing your guys.
Yeah.
But
that's how they get that good.
They're a workhorse and they show it live. So you guys and everyone else will not be disappointed by them and what they will show you at Grave Huffer. So
still gonna be a badass show.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna take the helm since Kevin ain't jumped up, and we've pulled the. I don't know if you guys remember the catastrophe that we left.
I do remember that.
It looks like it hasn't made too much progress.
Well, we peeled all the tape off. We've rotated the canvas. Are you? Is that the way you want to roll with it?
I don't care. Do whatever you see.
I don't see anything.
I don't either, man. That's where that's rare for us. Usually, by the time we're done with one show, we already have something decent going.
Trash polka.
Trash polka.
or whatever.
Oh, that's just going to end up our background, no matter what happens. We already know that.
So just
like a window.
Just paint it a giant color.
Because I even brought my little
secret window.
I normally
There we
don't
go.
bring it here, but I brought my little sketchbooks, my concept sketchbook here today, because I'm just like, man, I'm just not seeing anything out of it. So I just might just start painting something and see what happens.
I need to start doing art again. I used to do art a lot and back a long time ago.
Yeah. Sounds like he's over there.
I'm
ripping some
student.
ass. Yeah.
So since we didn't-
Tutelage.
since none of this happened last week, tell us a little bit about the writing process, because I don't know nothing about how you guys write.
Paul and I usually write a couple riffs, get together, we record them to a metronome, and show the bass player, drummer, and Bryant's usually the last person to jump in on it, but we show him through the process.
We'll get together, and sometimes I'll come up with like scratch vocals, and I'll be like, hey, maybe do this thing where you go, the trumpet is rad, and he's like, okay, I'll do that even better.
If vocally these two will, if he'll write his own stuff, as most vocalists do, but then these two will get together and write stuff together, and then I don't write lyrics, but I will help with like
placement
and structure. Like, try this, try that.
You're good on like taking out words that maybe I might have
right.
added too many words in there, like a phrase or something.
I'll tell you that helps though when you got someone else who does
Yeah,
it. So,
I
'cause
will.
sometimes you're just blank,
Right.
right?
When I was in my first
Yeah, there's been a couple times you
Yeah.
kept looking at me like,
Right.
I don't know.
I'm like, where's Paul at? I need Paul. He's my dictionary, my thesaurus, you know.
Yeah, I'm a wordsmith.
There's certain, I think the three of us, I mean, with our previous drummer, we were able, when he did come over and write and stuff, it was always, work on the riffs. We have a pretty solid situation, electric kits help, and having a small little like at-home studio helps with that stuff. But once we have something down, we send it to the guys. I send it to the guys, and then we rehearse the crap out of it until we are ready. We have I know we have the 6 songs for sure solidified that we have play live.
Yeah.
We probably have about 3 others, maybe 4 others we can definitely put out and tighten up, though. Just recording wise, we could definitely get them out. But there's a couple others that need some love. You need a little more effort writing wise.
We played that brewery show. We played the Skullfest.
We played a couple new songs.
We debuted some new songs, and then we kind of like the next day we played them again at a wedding. And I remember we were like,
let's not do that again.
Let's not do that again. I think we need to redo these a little more.
Hey, you play a song. You think you get it right, and then you're like, oh, that didn't go as well as I
Was that the one at Norton's you're talking about?
Yeah, we
Skullfest?
did the Nortons.
Yeah, I saw you guys play there too.
Yeah.
I've seen you a handful of times. First time I saw your first show, which was at Barleycorns. I was like, who the heck are these guys?
Yeah.
Then comes out a couple people I know. Oh, hey,
the first
cool.
person to say that.
Well, it happens with us too. It happened with us a couple years ago. So
Well,
still happened with us. Who the hell are you guys?
Yeah, we wanted to
cares?
play with Suffocate the Skies for a while, and then we played like back-to-back shows, like one night and then the next night. And it's just like, okay.
That is the cool thing. At least I see anywhere, because I've been all over the world, not necessarily doing music, but just anywhere you start seeing these groups, they start inviting you to the shows. And then when you start getting invited from people you've never even played with, word's getting out on you. And I thought
I get so many requests.
That was always cool.
Friend requests from people. I'm like, who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Why? What is this? Why are you requesting me? And I have to remind, I'm like, I don't understand. There's a band page. I'm not being mean or rude or anything. I just, I don't know a lot of these people who end up requesting me. If I played a show with you or I met you in a band.
Yeah, if you friend request me, you might be waiting for.
I think I do have. I may have you 3 on my, because my personal is also like my art page, and then I got a band page too. So.
I figure if they can't message me and say, hey, I'm trying to reach out or why or whatever, then I really don't need a random person on my page. Like,
you'll just see a really colorful shirt and it's me. So, that's Kevin. Okay.
I post a lot of BS anyway, so there's nothing on my page worth anything.
Yeah, I try to do a separate art page, and I do have a separate art page, but I primarily just use my personal page for the art page because that's the one I'm really on the most. But no, that's cool.
we try to spread good vibe in the scene. You know, we try to be there for other bands and support the other people. You know.
Well, that last show where we played with you guys at the Wave, it was great being right next to you guys. Real
Yeah.
supportive,
Uh-huh.
you know. And
It was nice
Yeah,
seeing
like that.
all those bands stick around and look at it. You know,
I'll help people
It
get
was a
their
great,
stuff off
it was a
stage
great
and on
local show.
stage.
and it was very similar but diversified.
Yeah,
I would say.
there was definitely is a
We
lot.
were probably, you know, we're straight punk. There's no ifs or buts about it.
You
But,
definitely were the oddballs out of the.
but we can still riff it up. You saw that.
No, you're definitely the oddball.
I like your
out of
guys'
it,
guitar
but
player.
But it's
You guys,
the
as far
vocals.
as-
I mean,
yeah.
if I did harsher vocals, it'd be closer to what you guys do. But I don't.
I'd say it represented the overall metal scene in Wichita to very well to a certain extent. Like there's a couple bands I would have liked to have seen on that bill as well as but I think everyone represented what Wichita has to offer pretty well, and I'd like to see if Tim does put on another one like that. I'd love to see what bands will be on that one.
He does quite a few. I'm sure he's going to do the toys for the children's home
But his champ shows are always fun to play.
because I
Those
do the
are-
art there every
Yeah.
time.
I like
those
Champs.
are a lot of fun. Those are great.
Cheap beer at Champs.
And the holiday one he puts on every
Dude.
year that they
Yeah.
put on is I love. I've noticed there's a few that do that every year, but anyone who does that, it's awesome to see what they're trying to do and that it goes to the cause that they're trying to put it towards.
Yeah, because the
And-
last 3 years we got that punk rock Christmas that we do.
yeah,
So
Well,
it's a
good.
jacket drive. Yeah.
It's good to see the community come together for a good cause.
It's always blown me away. Well, I'll add one last thing to that is we go play a show and like almost everybody there just
Already?
is like, wow, you guys are kick ass. And I'm like, if you say so,
Oh,
you know. So that always blew me away. The kind of support that Wichita, you know, with the fans.
Yeah.
There's a few people that do their best in Wichita to try and give the music scene at least the extreme, the metal, the punk, and the extreme scene, the more extreme scene anyway. There's a few people that seem to try their best with it, and it's good to see that. So, it's
Like I say, with any community, it always seems hit or miss. It depends on what side. It's about who you're friends with. It's it's always life is just high school all over again. You know, I mean, there's the cliques. You know, I mean, if you're
not wrong at all.
If-
I wish it wasn't like that.
But
Oh,
then
I-
again,
it-
like,
but any
he-
community I've ever dealt with, the music community, the art community, bearding community, any kind of community,
there are cliques.
the
Not gonna
churches. I
deny
mean,
that.
you know, I
Yeah.
mean, all of
Oh,
the stuff that is that there's a big group of people. There's always somebody that doesn't want you stealing their limelight. You know, I've came into situations where
That's always a personal issue for those people, though. Like, hey,
it is, but
So
I
it's
mean,
more about them than
that's
like,
their
you know.
triggers.
Why
and-
can't we
and
just
their
all work
eggshells,
together
you know?
and make this one great big
Yeah.
fucking family?
but then you get turned into Frankenstein, and
Right.
everybody's coming at you with pitchforks because you didn't do something right, or you stole somebody's shine. and
right.
It gets old. That's
There's-
I don't think I could
it's
do
a
a
little,
band.
I think it's a little childish, to be honest with you. Like,
Yeah.
we're all here to do support. We're all here to do our craft, do what we love to do.
Yeah.
Put our art out there. We all got different kinds of art.
I don't know that we've experienced that like firsthand. I mean, maybe
I
people have
wouldn't
got,
say that we have.
yeah, we might have, if they were making a dig towards us. I didn't take
Right.
it that way. I'm just like, oh, you were insulting me.
Dude, we
Okay.
always take constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Very
you know,
well.
very well.
Go ahead,
you
give
know.
it to me as best you
Right.
can. There ain't
I
nothing.
mean, we want to do what y'all
we
want to
haven't
hear.
held
You know?
ourselves.
Some people
But at
might
the same
tell
time,
us-
we want to do what we want to do as well.
Yeah.
Some people might say, "Oh, you guys are playing the same song you played
Right.
last
We
time."
got
Yeah,
that a couple
well,
times.
it's a band.
You guys
you
are playing
know?
the same set, bro. We just got together.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
But it ain't been that long.
I'd like to think that the scene has received us as well as we've received them.
Yeah, I think we
And
did
it's
get
for, on
received
our
pretty
end,
well.
it's been a very positive aspect. From our first gig with Ted at Underground Sickness to our other gigs throughout the last year. I mean,
Any and all the
It's-
promoters we've had have
Yeah.
been really cool.
but
Like, I
to
have
be
no
given those
complaints.
opportunities to show, hey, this is what we can bring to the scene and to the rest of Wichita, hey. But I'd like to think it's been as well received as we received the scene.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and unfortunately, there's a bunch of
It's always
cliques.
going to be there. I mean,
Um,
for me, it always takes a while. I mean, now I'm just kind of jaded, and I don't even, I don't give people the chance to do that. But
Well, it's like
when I
that-
was green and everything,
it's
it's
like
like you
that
give
old-
people the chance.
It's like that old school saying, man, just get in where you fit in, bro.
Yeah,
I guess
exactly.
the best answer for a band in any scene, whether it's here or in a bigger scene or even a smaller scene, my clique is Raw Nora.
Yeah.
I'm here to do what I can for the band as best as I can, and if we can help the scene and be a part of the scene as best as possible, I want that.
Yeah.
I don't want to not be a part of the scene. I don't want to alienate ourselves and piss off the scene and be like, hey, it's all about working together.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think we're doing our best to achieve that.
Yeah, like I said, you kind of just got to find out the problem areas and then not,
86,
tread lightly with
yeah.
that, because like I said, you don't want to.
Yeah, don't just
change-
change full on brawl with somebody,
Yeah.
but like just distance yourself.
Yeah, don't overshare with the wrong
Right.
people.
Yeah,
Anything.
We do our best to stay out of other people's drama and not start our own.
Yeah, and
You know.
that goes the same if like people tell us certain information that we might not be privy to. I'm like, I'm not gonna tell nobody your stuff.
Yeah.
I already done forgot it.
Yeah, exactly. What
I will
is
say,
what? Okay.
on our current situation, yes, we're not, publicly going out of the way, but I'm also, someone comes up and approaches me and asks me something, I'm not opposed to the truth either.
Yeah.
You really want to know the truth? Fine, let's sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm not going out my way.
Or you
No.
can just come up to us and be like, hey, I'm a drummer. Let's
That
Let's
would
do
be even
that.
better.
That's the best way to go about
Really,
that.
really, really
right.
back to
just
that.
skip all the bullshit and let's get to drumming.
Anyone who thinks they can make us sound better or keep up with us, or I'm not saying we're insane to play with or anything, but
We're definitely looking for someone who can, like
hold their own with
Right.
us.
hold their own. They have like, the kind of the you got the stuff on the flyer.
Because I will say this. When I first joined, like we was knocking shit out left and right. It was just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it was kind of
And
it was
I
Work
think-
ethic.
it was
Yeah.
flowing.
There you
At
go.
the beginning,
Yeah.
it was beautiful.
If
It
you've
was
got
beautiful.
good work ethic, more than anything, and anybody who works hard in their job, in their personal life, understands this involves all the categories that a band doesn't want to deal with and is looking for.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to put that. So
Yeah.
if you've got amazing work ethic, come on down, because I promise we're going to push you as hard as you're going to push us. And
That's
we're
what
gonna
Chris
get it
told me
done.
when I first joined. He was like, "We
In a
all push
positive
each
way.
other.
We
We
push
all,
each
yeah,
other.
we all push each other in a positive
We-
way." And
we
that's
had-
what I liked about them when I first joined. I was like, because at the beginning I was like, "Man, I don't know about this," and Chris was like, "Dude, just fucking do it." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay, fine."
We
I said that to all of them though. Like,
Right.
Like-
it wasn't just me; it was everybody. So
but they push me.
I
too.
really like that. Yeah.
I do. I hate trying to sound like the guy in charge, but I do push the guys, and I do have standards, and they've lived up to these standards. But I also have to live up to my own standards, and trust me, they do not let me live it down if I don't. Because if I'm calling him, say, hey, do that again, and he knows it, but he's a perfectionist. This guy's a
Right, I
perfectionist
do
too.
that.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, let's
So,
do it again. Let's do it. I'll run my voice out before I'll stop.
Yeah, and then it's like, all right, we're done. Like, we'll come back tomorrow. But we all push each other and keep each other to that same standard that has been set in the band, and that is what we're looking to keep to bring in. Anyone who can do that and match us in that equally is what we're looking for.
No, I
I
get
think that was
that.
perfect.
For some reason, I became the leader of the band. I really want the guitar player to be the leader, but I'm usually the one that's like, okay, let's do that song.
Any of these guys want to take it over, I'm cool.
again.
Like, I might, there's a lot that goes into being in a band, and people look at you like, well, you manage a band. Yeah, I do. Do you know what goes into managing a band?
Right.
You know how hard that is? Do you
Well,
know what it takes to get 5
You
dudes?
become
know-
you
I
become
know you know.
brothers
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I
become
did it for the same band.
family
So,
and
we
become-
both know how that is.
Where the closest 5 dudes get to each other without giving me a beat butt in each other. Well, it is. You really think about how many times you guys bleed with each other, you cry with each other. Some people cry with each other. You hate each other. You love each other. You are there for each other, and it bugs you like your family. And
Mhm.
whether you with like losing a member sucks. Any band member, especially if you're close, you all know how much it sucks
Oh,
to
yeah.
lose a member. So
because you got to almost restructure a band.
Right.
And,
Well, and then you put a lot of
and the
time.
and the new drummer's going to
You
bring in their
put a lot
flair,
of
so things are
time
going to
and
change a little
effort
bit.
into
and
building
New
everything.
Flair's
this
cool, though.
relationship.
Yeah.
New Flair could be refreshing.
Well,
Yeah.
like we said, like we're 420 friendly and alcohol, but it's like I prefer they save that for like when we're done actually doing what needs to be done too.
I am smoking the whole time.
Well, you're already in the band, so it doesn't count.
If that's the only thing I'll say. I don't care if you smoke or drink, but if you can't perform or practice,
There you go.
then kick
That's
rocks.
it right there.
I know that I'm
I've
crap
done
if I
that.
start drinking.
Standards, man.
I got rid of two. I got
Standards.
rid of 2 members because of that, because we kept cutting our shows, our practices short, and they were always like, "Well, we had one song we've been working on for 6 freaking months. We're a punk band, god damn it!"
Right.
Yeah.
And
no
the bass
shit.
player was the one that wrote it. And I'm like, dude,
Come on, man. We're playing the same 3 chords we do every other song, just in a different order. No, I'm kidding.
yeah,
Okay.
basically that's basically what. No, you're serious. Well, I'm just not feeling it, and then some shit happened. And
Who cares if you're not feeling it? There's a couple songs we play that I'm like, I really don't like this song as
Yeah.
much, but this
Oh,
is
man.
what we do.
Yeah, there's a couple songs I just love sitting them all bitch at each other. So I'm just sitting there because I'm vocalist.
I just show
I
up.
have nothing to do with I have nothing to do with the music side. So they're yelling, "You're supposed to play it like this," and Paul's like, "That doesn't sound right."
Pull
And
out the
Chris is
metronome.
like, "Shut up, Paul. It's like this." No, I'm just like, dude, it's funny watching them go back and forth.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah, a little bit.
but you know,
but we, yeah, it.
but everybody will hold you responsible,
Right, right.
Because I've had a couple of shows where I had a live show where I just fucked up bad. Probably the worst I ever did. It was shortly after because remember the black eye and everything. I was fucked up.
I do remember that.
I was fucked up. My head was killing me. But that show came out okay. The next show we did though, holy cow!
Hmm.
And it was 3 days later, and I just the drummer let me have it. I was
So,
like, I'm glad he did, because from then on I kind of noticed, and then I haven't missed a beat since. It's been some of our best shows since.
Before we started playing shows, I had an issue here, up and down here, and then I haven't had an issue with it for a while. The wave gig, my cramp the whole time. That's something I've been working on since the wave gig. I'm like, this is like, not happening again. I'm playing live. I'm not going through cramps again. So they're saying we're getting older. We got to work on those things.
That's what it was. I wasn't drinking water. I wasn't really taking care of the mess on my face. I was just kept going to work, and all this stuff. And I think it just caught up to me a week later, and I was just like, man, I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't tell anything was going on. I mean,
But getting back to the we're getting older thing, even though I'm the youngest in the band,
Are you?
yeah, I am now. I'm 35.
No, I think Brandon's younger than you.
Okay, anyway.
you're younger
But
than
I just
you're
wanna-
younger than my
I just want to
son.
put out there that, like, do we have goals or shit that we want to do? And I mean, that's why, like, I really hope we find somebody and quickly, because I mean, I don't want to rush it, but at the same time, like, dude, there's a lot of things that I want to do in my music career, and there's people like, I'm only getting older, and I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be doing this, and yada yada yada, and I'm just like, well, then we better get some shit done, because
We ain't 20 anymore.
Right.
Like,
I got all you guys out done because
wow.
you're younger than my son there. So what can I say?
I'm a year away from 40. I'd like
Not
to
you.
Put, I'd like to put
my
another.
son's 36.
I'd like
so.
to put another album. I'll put an album out with this band before I turn 40.
Mhm,
I'm gonna be 40 in June, so
mhm.
Old.
Nah, it's like I said, I got
the elder beard.
I got a birthday show that
Elder beard,
I got a
that's what
birthday
we're
show
calling
that I'm putting on at Kirby's May 23rd. My
Very
birthday's actually May 25th, and it's going to be with us and Surprogenists, because I've always wanted to play with them. I don't care how extreme they are compared to us. We're playing together because I'm real good friends with them.
I think those variety shows are kind of
And then
cool.
there's a
Though.
band coming from
Yeah.
There's like a dark wave band. I can't remember the name, coming from California. So it's gonna be fun. It'll be cake. Hell, I like.
Progenist puts on a great show.
Yeah.
They sound good live. They put
Mhm.
on a good show.
dude, and that new art they got, I hope they make it into a shirt.
Oh my
'cause I fucking want that.
Ted, are you guys
Yeah.
putting
I invited him. I
comic
hope he's there.
art on a shirt? I would pay for that. I'll take 3X, please.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the comic
3X.
book thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That-
Pretty dope,
that's one of
dude.
their sickest. They have a
Yeah.
lot of sick art, and that one is really awesome. I'd love to see that on a shirt. I'd buy that for sure.
That's
I
true.
have a couple of their shirts.
I
but
forgot about
was-
that. Yeah, they've actually started buying shirts for me
they need
because
to,
I keep coming in, and because they know I'll spend my money. Yeah, if you have a 5X, I'm buying it.
they need a shirt of him getting searched by the TSA.
Yeah.
That was kind of a joke for
Yeah,
a while.
put the TSA thing on a shirt.
Oh, when they
That'd
flew
be
to
cool.
when they flew to
Yeah.
New Orleans for the show there. Yeah. No, Ted and I and Felicia and that whole crew. I've been friends with them for years
They're
and
good people.
years and
Yeah,
years.
dude, I love their drummer. He's a cool dude.
AJ's
and
a
he's
sick drummer.
badass. And he's a badass.
And when you see him and stuff, man, and then when he plays, you're like, holy cow, that comes out of him. It's like, wow.
All three of them are a good match.
Right.
What they do, they're a great match.
Yeah.
Their sound, their tone,
Their attitude, everything.
yeah. I do enjoy seeing them live.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're a great group of guys.
Wichita's got a lot of cool bands. And
A lot.
Paul and I went to that Parthian show where they did the album release.
Mhm.
That was cool. They had, I think it's Atria is a local.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're from. Yeah, I know who they
They're
are.
local gent kind of.
They're like
gent prog, you know.
Right.
They are. I've never seen them. I was blown away personally. I think for what they do, they're really good.
And Triune from Colorado.
Triune from Colorado.
I think,
Triune,
but I think
Triune.
Atria, aren't they from Dodge City?
I don't know. I know their bass player is a guitar tech over at Palin.
Oh, then okay, wrong
And
one.
so it's possible a
Aether.
couple of them are
Huh?
from.
Are you thinking of Aether?
I was thinking of Aether. Yeah.
No, yeah, I think they're from Wichita,
Yeah,
but they definitely cool dudes. They're really talented. All three bands. You know, Parthian puts on a great show. And their
Oh,
new
they
album,
do. I've seen
their
them.
new album's
I've seen them
pretty
before.
pretty
I've seen them
solid.
before.
So it was a great show. I'm looking forward to the Grave Huffer show, and then there's another one coming up. I'm looking to go see with. Okay, so Taryn Severance is on it. Well, the I Hate God show. I think that.
Yes, I
that
Hate
will
God.
If I
Yeah.
can go to that, I will. That'll be a solid
You-
show, and then we're going to the Cradle show coming up.
So Terrence must have found them a drummer because they didn't have a drummer for a while.
So.
Yeah,
I do believe they have a drummer now, at least a regular one. I've only seen them one time. It was at a Barleycorn show when I first started going to shows, and the band was starting to play gigs, and it was their last show in Wichita at that point.
Yeah, because the drummer left shortly after that.
And then I'm excited to see them play. Who's the other band? Can't remember right now. Parthian's on that one.
The I Hate God,
Hate
Parthian,
God,
Terrence
and
Severance.
Terrence Severance. So
Yeah.
that'll be a good show to watch.
Yeah, it's funny because Terrence Severance, gosh dang, man, I hate when my
Barlow.
brain, huh?
James Barlow.
Yes, thank you. I don't know. Yeah, combat. What can I say? Anyway, I used to work with his dad
Okay.
1,000 years ago. Because they had a band called Easy Love.
I actually heard stories about this. A dude I worked with at the city, he was an older guy, and he was telling me about Barlow. And I was like, wait, Barlow? Wait, hold up. And he was like, yeah, Barlow, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I wonder if it's, and then I just kind of put two and two together.
It wasn't actually Easy Love, but they were getting ready to change their name to Easy Love. Yeah, we used to drive combines together for this farmer. And he was always coming in late because he was always playing the show and stuff. And I'm like in, high school still. So it's not like I could, but that's where, and I was talking about him. And then Barlow goes, he leaves and comes back. And I'm like, what? He still has a stack of vinyl from his dad's old band.
Nice.
Well, that's awesome.
And we're talking, what, 40, 50 years ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I refuse to open it.
Dude.
I don't want to open it. So
There's a good friend. He currently lives in Texas, but his dad was like my mentor as a guitarist, who's probably one of them. Such an awesome blues, country, rock guitarist. I mean, phenomenal, but no one knows him. And he's looking to record stuff, and I'm like, yes, please, 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 please.
oh,
please,
now
please.
he's looking to record stuff.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
they put something out, but it was like 10 years, 15 years ago.
Right.
And, the burned discs have disappeared, and the computer, the stuff has disappeared. So they're looking. I'm like, I'm excited because
That's what's good about nowadays. You got cloud and stuff. You can put stuff on if you have to.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear something that should have been heard decades ago.
Yeah, we were before we got live. I was talking about I've been moving shit, so I've gone through boxes and I found a stack of old tapes. I did on the 4-tracks. We recorded every practice in the first band. I mean, almost every practice.
Dude.
And so I got to find something that I can get it digitally.
So those task cams.
Yeah,
You get a little
yeah.
task cam and you can control the input. Now it's not necessarily the greatest sound on the planet, but it gives you enough to capture anything that you can just leave it running the whole time. Pause it if you need to, but leave them running the whole time.
Well, I think I
got
found
one, my old band back home.
Yeah.
Used to do that, and that it helped a lot.
I think I found like it's like basically a Walkman that you can put it in, and then you can just run it into your whatever you're recording it from.
These are SD card, if not
Yeah.
completely digital, where you can just plug it in nowadays. So you don't have to deal with those. And they're little. I'll show you when we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up and show you. What I'm
That's
talking about.
amazing what you can do nowadays, because I actually got stuff at one time where you could switch to digital or take it from the album and put it on cassette
Technology
and everything.
is-
Because back then, you didn't have CD players, you had cassette players and 8-track players.
Yeah.
I-
Records.
The only thing with technology I'm against is AI in art. Period. All types of art. Outside of that, yeah, technology's been amazing to get used to when it comes to music. Granted, certain sounds you can't capture anymore without taking a certain route, but you stepped itself up.
Yeah, you get the traditional people that
Well,
analog.
Look where we're at. It's not a radio show; it's a podcast.
It's a podcast. Yes.
You got to roll with the times.
Yeah. What's up, Alexander?
Yeah, everything's kind of that way anyway, because I remember when digital art first came out, everybody was saying, oh, that's not real art.
It's not. We cheat.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. I love Control
It
Z.
just
Control
feels
Z
weird
is
to me
my
because I don't get that.
favorite tool.
I used to do a lot of stuff on Photoshop.
I love
and
copy
stuff, just,
pasta.
really weird.
I use it a lot when we're doing demos. Like I'm not running that riff 20 times. I'll
Yeah.
just get it right and then copy pasta.
Yep,
When
yep.
we actually record, that's a different story. But demo wise, copy pasta.
Yeah, that will.
Except Brian, I can't copy pasta him. He has to play the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, you could just AI.
Yeah.
Just AI. it.
No,
We, you know.
no,
I
no,
put AI on his vocals.
no, I won't allow it.
Get
No,
the
I kinda
auto-tune.
want to now just to see what he sounds like.
Fuck
Auto-tune is vocal, see what it
No,
sounds like.
that.
We're not a hip hop rap
Yeah.
band. No, thank you. If he
No.
starts putting AI and or auto tune, I might be like, you're out, bro.
Yeah.
Until you hear it.
To each their own.
We had a studio that was doing that to my vocal.
I know we
and
could
told them to
create
get
a
all that
new
shit
pad
out.
or something.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Stella Million.
Look at what
Right?
Look at what happened. To
Sell our
country.
souls.
Look at what happened to country and
I kind of like trap metal.
mumble country
Yeah,
stuff.
trap
man.
metal.
Yeah, the trap metal. It's like
That band Filth,
yeah,
the big black dude.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of that stuff's kind of cool.
It's all right. I'm not
You
opposed. I
gonna
don't
plug
not
in
like
your
it.
little way?
No.
I think the honest bands that are really into it, making it something special, will last. Because you see that with every genre. Where,
Well, there's always a couple bands out of each genre for the most part.
right, you get the ones that are just doing it because it's a money grab, and then they're gone.
The nostalgia thing's starting to run its course though, because there's bands that are coming out of the woodwork that should just stay gone.
Pentagram.
We're getting a lot of the old school punk
Dude,
bands coming
Pentagram
back.
cracks me.
Yeah.
But if
I
you're
mean,
gonna say
they're-
that about Pentagram, you might as well say that about all the other old bands. Like Diamond Head's made a resurgence. King Diamond's still trying to keep going.
Yeah. I wasn't saying they should stop. I like them, but I kind of forgot about. I
but
hadn't
you gotta
listened to them in
remember,
100
these
years.
bands are still going, and so, but
And then that meme started going around. I was like, "Who is this
like, let's
guy?"
go
I was like,
Trapped. Why are they still playing? No one likes them. Come on.
Wow. Can't believe it.
Watch, he's gonna hop on all of a sudden.
I
and
said
be like, I'm gonna
crap
cancel you. Like
metal,
really?
not trap.
Well, it's that dad rock that everybody that likes to
"Yacht rock."
that likes
Yacht-
to wear
Dude.
neon shorts.
Yacht rock.
I want to see someone turn Ron Aura into Yacht Rock.
It'd be cool. We have like an
If they could turn
Akbar.
Slayer into Yacht Rock, they could turn Ron Aura into Yacht Rock.
Definitely, I get into watching. There's a couple guys that take like, it'll be like Slipknot song, but in the style of Frank Sinatra or something, or let's say a
Oh,
Sinatra
yeah,
couple
song.
vocalists
I see
that
those
I-
photos, all the videos. All
Yeah,
the
there's
time.
probably lots of people
There's a
doing it.
couple vocalists I watch that do that, and I'm like, how do you change your voice to do all these singers?
There's
It's crazy.
there's that guy from Norway that his name's like Leo Mora Chili or something like that, and he did a Slipknot duality cover, and there's literally like a slide whistle in it. He's like,
Yeah,
"Woo." You're like, what? Okay.
Oh, what was it? We were talking about Puddles the Clown too the other day.
Dude, Puddles the Clown is awesome.
Oh, I know.
His renditions of songs are like, dude,
Yeah.
I didn't know that could hit me any harder than it did.
And I mean,
Right.
I would have never thought that I would have enjoyed watching a clown sing, but
Did you go to that show?
I didn't go to the show.
Wait, what
Okay,
show
I was gonna
when?
Say, I was there.
Was
I
he
didn't
in
remember
town?
seeing you.
It was.
Yeah, he played a show here about 3-4 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
I remember
if he was
that.
coming to town, I'd probably go to that, to be honest, because
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
I think the prices were little ridiculous, but that's kind of the norm right now. But yeah, I seen a version he did of Gilligan's Island, and I think it was a Led Zeppelin Stairway to Heaven, I think, where he
Oh, nice.
meshed them up. It was like how it fit perfectly. He was like singing the song of I think Gilligan's Island, but playing it to Led Zeppelin, and it's pretty
Some
crazy.
of the mashups that are out there nowadays are cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that works way too well.
Gotta remember his pedal party thing, though. He keeps it all sad too. So you're listening to all
Well,
that.
you
The
guys,
whole show is just sad.
the postmodern jukebox.
Yeah, they're
That's
good
where I
too.
first caught him.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of cool songs and artists on there.
Oh yeah.
It's hey, we're a bunch of metalheads talking about something other than metal.
Like I said, I love all music, and like I said, I played in 2 metal bands, but I was never metal. I was always the first band got me into a lot more variety of music, and I mean with Librium, it was just kind of I was off doing my thing most of the
Hey,
time.
I wish
and,
I could hear that music. Does that music exist anywhere?
There's-
a song out
yeah.
there somewhere.
yeah, there's versions
Alright.
of it. I think there's one song that all 3 of us got recorded, or at least a live version.
Is there music out
Probably.
I
Pretty
think
sure they
so.
got CDs floating around.
there?
So
There's a couple bands. So there's a couple bands back in my heyday that my first band that I wish I could still get the demos of. And there were a couple, back when we used to burn CDs and stuff. And there was another couple local bands I wish I still had. And I'm like, an ex-girlfriend took my CDs.
Yeah.
And now they're gone. Like,
Yeah.
I can never get that stuff back.
Especially it's
but-
like one of 50 that were ever printed and stuff.
Yeah, and I've reached out. You reach out to your old bandmates, or you reach out to friends from other bands. You're like, "Hey, do you guys still have this? Do you still have this?" No,
No, long gone.
Some of the awesome
Yeah.
music that's lost to
Restarting life, sometimes, because that's where I've lost most of my stuff, and then I find it.
Yeah, restarting life.
find it
That's-
again in a box that you hadn't opened it for 100 years.
I'm not afraid to sleep on a mattress with just a TV and a
Talking
bare ass place if things get that way.
A couple
Yeah.
old patches of an old band of mine called Rabbit 666 now hanging out.
Yes.
I was like, damn, I remember those patches.
I remember I was at like the Riot Room in KC and saw their sticker up there. I was like, that's cool. Or, no, or I think it was like Big Doom Generator.
Oh,
Those guys. There's so many bands from Wichita that just
they're Love Like War now, pretty much.
yeah.
Those guys are cool.
Yeah, but one more time, let's plug the show. This is May 9th.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gravehuffer with Externus and Dune for Death. Thank you, Dune for Death, for filling in. We apologize for not being able to be there, guys. We'll be there to watch, but we apologize we can't play.
Yep. So if you're a
But,
drummer, go hit them up and start jamming with them.
We'll
drummer,
be there. We'll be
please.
having a
We would
beer.
love to
you
find a
know.
new drummer.
We'll be just living it up.
Like I said, Barleycorn's
That's how you
always
find
got
your new drummer that night.
Yeah.
That'd be
Who
great.
knows? But one way or another, we will have music out this year.
get T-shirts that say "We need a drummer."
Right.
Just be a walking billboard for it.
We
But I'll
could-
chop up some of these clips and we'll spread spread the word out. That's what I intended on do the last show, but obviously it would have been to promote the show for you guys. But I'll still chop up and promote for the show. But we'll chop up some little bite-sized bits for the viewers.
We definitely want to promote the show for sure.
Yeah,
you know.
we're still promoting it. We still grateful they even asked us in the first
Yeah.
place, and
Yeah.
hopefully
I
in the
think it's the
future.
first show we had to drop off of.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
So
literally,
it really
yeah.
sucks.
Yeah,
It
Yeah.
really
tough.
sucks.
I'm hoping in the future, once we resolve the drummer situation and Gravehuffer comes back around, they'll be kind enough to give us another opportunity. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that.
Just
They
be
come in a
cool.
couple times a year, so
I'm looking forward to seeing them. I have yet to see them.
they
So
played a garage show. I've seen them at Kirby's a couple of times.
sweet.
You about ready to stop and point there so you can come
Yeah,
say
I just
goodbye,
wanted to get
Kevin?
The color I had going on.
Say goodbye.
Well, you can do it after we get off here. We're just going to keep it at the 45-minute mark because people's attention span are very small.
We lost everybody in 20 minutes in.
No,
I mean, we could start talking
35
conspiracies. People will
seconds.
stick around forever.
yeah. That'll be the
I'll see you guys later.
Right. Have to get Tony over here. He loves.
oh yeah. I know a lot of people who love. We could just
Yeah.
get like all of them in a room and
Dude,
just
you guys
hit
would be-
record. And like I said, I'm
yeah,
gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead
you
and
could
leave.
do like a 24-hour session.
Yeah, they just come back 2 days later and they're still just going.
Right. If they're not killing each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my biggest thing is everybody, because they know my military. I retired from the military. They always ask me politics. Okay, you spend your entire time in the military, you're not allowed to be involved in politics. You can vote for who you want to vote for,
It don't matter.
but the president of the United States is still your
Your
commander in
boss, no matter
chief.
what, yeah.
and stuff like that. Although I won't listen to him. I'll
I
listen
guess
to,
the new
I'll listen to
topic-
I'll listen to the 4-star general that's standing next to
I
him.
Yeah.
guess that new topic nowadays is if stuff hits the fan, what are our current soldiers going to decide to do? Go AWOL or take their orders and do what
We-
they got to do? You know,
We literally go through so many morality and so many.
Who brought up conspiracy theories?
Yeah, you're fired.
yeah, we should probably back off.
God
On
We literally go through so many trainings about that stuff.
But
Trust
have you
me.
seen this painting? I'm liking it a lot better.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
weird. It's
Well, look,
weird.
you got something. There's a skull. I see it now. There's a skull.
It reminds me of that
We
movie
decided to do 2 separate
Sinister,
pictures and
Yeah.
try to
where they
put
keep
it all
seeing the
together.
face.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Yeah.
need to go with the
That's
skull
cool.
that's at an angle. Okay, that one's cool. It's like
by
almost
Grayskull.
It's like the Punisher, if the Punisher had.
Oh, so he doesn't like my little cat dog thing in the box. huh?
I guess not.
I like that. It's got a Wile E. Coyote thing.
Demon dog, demon cat.
It's far from done. But yeah,
Yeah.
It's like if
I'm a huge lowbrow fan, so it's. I will always go that direction a lot of
Red
times.
Rover. I'm gonna call it Red Rover.
Red Rover. But thanks again for coming back. I think we've got
Thank
a
you.
good quality podcast. It sounds
Thank
good
you
through
for
my
having
headphones,
us.
so I think nobody said, "Hey, you suck." Casey hasn't came running in here, so
Right.
I think we're good.
Well, and Jana said that sounded good.
Yeah.
So, and she's always been a good judge of what it sounds like.
Yeah, like I said, we just had you guys are the first in studio guest we've had in this studio in middle of the road studios, and so it was a learning curve. And hey,
If
we had
anything,
fun,
look
and we've got
forward
stuff to
your new
promote.
Recordings coming out. However, you get the drummer
Oh, it's gonna
situation
be
taken
sick.
care of.
Yeah,
It's gonna
No.
be sick. I'm telling you.
If you guys like our live set, you like what we're gonna put.
You're gonna
especially
need
some
it.
of the new songs. Like we've kind of upped the ante.
Well, if
a
I
lot,
remember
so-
correctly, after you guys played the Wave, I go, "No recordings? Where they
Yeah.
at?"
You're
Well, we got
gonna need a-
t-shirts.
You're gonna need a bigger
Yeah.
speaker to hear all the badass
We've
music.
definitely got.
Physical copies we will get. when we
Like I
get
said
out.
earlier, we try to push each other, and I try to push them to get a little.
More
Yeah.
blasts,
Yeah.
more solos,
More,
more
more,
screams.
Now that we're past, now that we've made a decision, we're past a hurdle. We got to get past this next hurdle.
Then there'll be another one and another one. You just got to keep going.
Any drums, we just need the drummer. Hopefully, we find someone to record with. But one way or another, like I said, we will be putting music out this year.
Just get electronic
And then-
drums and a hologram. Call it
There
good.
you go.
There's a lot of
We can
really
get any drummer we
young-
want.
Yeah.
You know, we'll get an empty. We'll get a drum kit, put it up there, and put a sign that says "You could be here."
Dude,
You
we'll
could
just
be here.
program,
Yeah.
We'll just program the drums and like have a hologram of Joey Jordanson drumming.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
us.
yeah.
You know, there are
was gonna
some
be like,
really
this is
good
Todd
young
from Anaheim.
green drummers out there.
They got to be 21 plus.
Yeah, that's-
21 plus.
I say young.
No offense against youngins. They got to be able to go into a bar. Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I got that.
And
Oh,
travel.
when I said young, I was thinking
Yeah.
young
Travel.
compared to
Make
me.
sure you can travel. No,
without mom's permission.
Yeah.
Without mom's permission.
or without your PO's permission.
or without your POs. If you can't if you need your PO's permission, then it ain't happening.
It ain't
Sorry.
Well, Coach gives the blessing on the painting, I think. So
You got
we're
Red
good.
Rover and a skull.
Yeah,
I
well,
dig it.
it's better than what it was.
Right.
It was getting pretty rough. I
You
think.
just need Rod and Warren here for inspiration. That's what.
That's what we're going to name it.
Yeah.
There you go. I likes it.
We might write that word in there somewhere, but you have to really look for it.
Yeah, I may have got it started. I've got a few letters in
I
there,
kind of see it
I'm
already.
kidding, I'm kidding.
a few letters. But again, thanks for
Let's
coming
the
in.
one-off punk songs. There we
Yeah.
go.
Rotten Aura official on all the socials. Rotten Aura on Spotify.
All the streaming sites.
Okay, all the
Any-
streaming sites, not just Spotify.
Please go share our post. And if you reach out to us on the Facebook page, the Instagram page. If anyone reaches out to me directly, that's fine. But Instagram or Facebook page is preferable.
Okay. Well, again, thank you for
Tend to
coming
reach
on.
out to the people I know when
Thanks
I
for having us.
Thanks everybody out
But we
there in
physically know each
Viewerland.
other,
Kevin's
you know what
not
I'm saying?
done, so we're
I'm
just
never
gonna,
done.
We're just gonna pretend like
Done.
we're gonna end it.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a good night.
Y'all come back now.
I like
Yeah.
that picture.